Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode on Nikki Marie Radio. I have a special guest named Natashia Brewer, and we're going to get started with all the questions because I definitely want to learn more. So, Natasha, say hello to everyone that's tuning in.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me on your show today.
Yes, I'm really eager to learn more about you, especially because you are the owner and founder of Everlasting TV, and a lot of people want to create content, especially in a world that we're living in where everything is virtual because of the pandemic. So,
right.
Just give us a little bit of information about you and how you got started.
Sure. Again, Natashia Brewer. I'm the owner and founder of Everlasting TV. I grew up in Washington, D.C. and always had a desire, a passion for creating. I wrote songs. I wrote my first movie this year. And I have used my creativity in the most difficult times of life just to help me to grow and to get things out that I couldn't express. So creativity has always been a part of who I am. So I've always had an affinity for the arts and those who created it. So that's why I created this platform. So there's opportunity for folks to share their content that they've created, their inspiring, motivating content, especially during this difficult time.
Yeah, I think that's the most eye-opening experience for a lot of us, just wanting that I guess the opportunity to be creative and not knowing the outlets on where to go or even how to create their content. Do you assist with that part when maybe someone says, hey, I'm really struggling with just even getting started and what my content should focus on?
Yeah, I can definitely help folks to kind of structure their ideas. I'm good at, I have a background in project management, so I know how to pull out people's ideas. What is your overall message and how do you want to deliver it? So I definitely can help people to kind of structure their ideas and get clear on what they want to do and set their goals and their goals and action plans to get there.
Well, launching Everlasting TV, I always think, wow, you have this big opportunity to do something, but do you actually go through with it? So why did you decide to take on such a huge mission?
I decided to take on this mission because when I was doing as I mentioned, I wrote my first movie, and I was documenting the distribution strategy. And in my research, I was trying to figure out ways of how to get it on different platforms, TV, and things like that. And in my research and just, searching the internet, I found so many great, inspiring work. And I was like, there needs to be a platform where people could go to one place and see all this great content and not have to search through all the noise and the, things that aren't feeding us, to grow and to be better people. So that's pretty much what sparked it. And I'm like, hey, let's figure out how to get this done.
You bring up this movie and I'm curious what it's about.
So I'm a songwriter. So a couple of years ago, I wrote a song titled Violet Bloom, like the color, the flower, the violet.
Yeah.
And from that, it sparked an idea. So it's about a woman growing and realizing who they're called to be. Like we're this royal, we're royalty, and we need to stand in who we are. So the character in the movie goes through the challenges of life like everyone else, but realizes who she is and, what she's to become. So she blooms into who she's called to be. She's not met with she's met with some difficulties, some challenges and things like that, but the overall message is no matter what you're going through, you always have an opportunity to do better and be better. So seize that opportunity. So don't let your life, drag you down. Always continually bloom.
Where can people view this movie?
So it's not out yet. So with the pandemic, It kind of kiboshed the whole production and filming. So I'm working on a plan to kind of start it back, but it's kind of difficult right now because you want to make sure that people are safe and, it's just
practicing social distancing.
Exactly. So how can you do that when you have scenes where they're at a party or, it's an intimate setting?
Yeah.
So just kind of trying to figure things out that way. But if not this year, we have next year. So
yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of certain things. You feel like, okay, so I'm focused on this, but then a pandemic happens. But there's so many different opportunities to plan for the future that we hope all of this will end eventually. But I guess in the meantime, Everlasting TV, what makes it so different from the other channels that are available?
So
I did add that channel, by the way, to Roku for myself.
Nice, thank you. See, you're joining the movement.
Yes.
So what makes our channel different is that our mission is to provide up and coming talent, content creators who have an inspiring, motivated message with an opportunity to share it with the world. How many shows, artists, creators get recognition for vulgar messages filled with sex, drugs, violence, when messages and works with a powerful message of greater enlightenment get buried? We're going to change that. Positivity and inspiration will prevail. And we at Everlasting TV will do everything we can to make that happen. That's how it's different. We have our mission and vision, and everything that we put on is definitely in alignment with that. So it's not like you can pay a fee and get on the channel. No, it's vetted. It's vetted for quality.
I mean, you made a statement before, and I believe it was like to change the narrative. And I said this before on a different podcast where I was talking about how people need to tell their stories themselves so other people don't try to change their narrative or jump to conclusions when they don't really know the full story. And I think that happens a lot, especially in entertainment. So what do you mean when you say you want to change the narrative of what entertainment is?
When I say that, I mean that you don't have to have violence or destruction or, negativity for it to be entertainment. I value everyone's voice. Everyone's voice matters. And if no matter how you say something, you may say it differently than I do, but you have a right to do that.
Right.
So when I say change the narrative, I'm saying change the narrative that you don't have to have negativity to be entertaining. I remember when I first started, and on my social media, I do all positive stuff. I quote scripture and things like that. And someone was like, well, if you change it up a bit, then maybe you'll get more engagement. And my response was, no, I'm not. This is my voice. This is my platform. Those who I'm supposed to reach, I will reach. I'm not going to change it for anyone. And I think that's so important for creatives to understand that. Stand by what you're doing. Don't let people try to shift what you should do or tell you what you should do. So that's what I mean by changing the narrative of standing by what you believe in, standing by your voice, and know that what you have to say matters.
Yeah, that's so funny that you say that, because I had an interview with a singer, also a songwriter, Chantel, and she's from Australia, and she's an independent artist. And one of the things that I said to her was, you don't want to fit into this bubble of commercial. You want to be able to have that independent right to be who you are and stand by the messages of what you sing in your songs. Because she has a really amazing song and video. It's called 2020, and it just outlines things that are actually happening, like the pandemic, President Trump, Kobe Bryant dying, like just all these things that happened in just the 6 months, really.
Right.
And it seemed like the world had just ended.
Right.
But, and we've had worse situations, but this generation is not used to survival, I guess. But that just goes with what you're saying, changing the narrative, not making everything so negative towards just different things. Because I think there's a blessing in every lesson, pretty much. But to do it the way you're doing it, like you're quoting scriptures and just having that positive attitude on life, where does that come from? Just being positive?
It comes from it was a lot of work, actually. Because like life happens,
right? I was gonna say, because some people go through things and they just shift into just a negative, mean person.
Exactly. And I think just getting grounded and building my relationship with God, not religion, so to speak, but relationship and that opened my eyes of like recognizing who I am, recognizing that I control my response to the world.
Yeah.
I can't control anyone else. We can't do that, but we can control how we react to people and what comes out of our mouths and how we behave. But we are in control of that. So when I recognize that, I could wake up in a bad mood, but I have control to stay there. Or I could feel bad. I could make myself come out of it. You know what I mean? So we have to recognize how much power we truly do have. And we give away that power too often.
Yes.
So when I got that in my mind, I recognized that I don't have to be negative. So I'm focusing on, renewing my mind each day, which means like when I wake up, what do I want this day to be? And it's not so much of like manifestation or anything like that. It's just my heart posture when I wake up and what I want to feel like,
Yeah.
So it was a journey for sure. And it was a lot of like work as far as like releasing baggage and, recognizing that you had these issues, like recognizing that you're bitter, and recognizing that you're prideful and dealing with it. And I think a lot of people kind of shy away from self-evaluation, and if we do that more often, the world will be a better place for sure.
I don't think you said, when did you start Everlasting TV, right?
I started Everlasting TV this year, actually. We've just launched July 28th. I'm sorry, June 28th. I'm sorry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're fresh.
Yeah, I started my production company on June 23rd.
Oh, nice. Of this year?
And I just officially made a page to let everybody know that Nikki Marie Productions is in full effect.
Nice. I gotta check it out.
Yes.
See how much good things are birthed out of this year.
Hey, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that we've gone through. Mm-hmm. So it's like some people would say that the COVID-19 was a gift and a curse at the same time. Mm-hmm. Because it allowed you to see opportunities that you probably wouldn't have had, but then we also had a lot of loss.
Right.
So it's a gift and a curse. So it's like a death and a birth all at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know when my grandmother passed away, then the next thing you know, my cousin had her baby. So it was like,
yes,
making way for new life.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Yeah,
that you said it that way, because I think about it. You think about the anticipation for 2020. Everyone was so excited. There were these sayings and things like that, new vision, all these things. People had great anticipation. And then we get hit by the pandemic. Or first it was Kobe Bryant. Then it was the pandemic. And there was so many other things. But 2020 is still the new decade. It's still an opportunity. And I think people have, and I think all this happening, it's kind of to reshape and reset people.
Of course,
how often do you get to be home, work on stuff, that you're not ripping and running the street to go to this function and that function?
How often do you get the opportunity to just be quiet?
Yes.
And be still. Yeah.
Absolutely. Never.
Right? I mean, we're always going.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to just freeze a little bit and spend time with your family, spend time with your kids, learn new things, whether it's through technology or something else. I mean, everybody's always taking trips and not just appreciating what they have right in their circle.
Absolutely.
So you're stuck in the house with me, basically.
We gonna get along. We gonna learn each other. We coming out of this stronger than we went in.
Exactly. Which brings me to my next conversation, because when I went to your channel, I wanted to know a little bit more about the content and the shows. So what type of content and shows can we expect to see?
So we have movies, web series, we have documentaries, and we also have music and podcasts. So we have some music videos on there. I interviewed one of the artists this past week, and she had some great, she's only 14, 15 years old, and she had such great perspective on this whole pandemic at such a young age, and it was great. So music, any avenue for, and we even had spoken word on there. So it's like, it's truly a platform for up and coming talent. There's really no box, Of course it has to align with the mission and vision, but it's something for everyone.
How does it make you feel knowing that you have created a platform like this for so many people to have the opportunity to be heard, to be seen, and incorporate your mission into each one of those productions, basically? How does that make you feel, just waking up and be like,
humbling,
sit back, and this is what I've accomplished, and now I get to help others?
It's humbling, actually, because it's like, I did it. It was a thought. I, figured out how to get it done, and by the grace of God, it got done. And then getting connected with the right people, and it feels great. It really does. I think it's still sinking in, because it's so fresh, it's so new. So I am over the top. So excited to see where we're going. So excited to connect with new talent, and to see them grow, So it's great.
What would you need support-wise for the people that are tuning in right now?
just tune in, share our social media, just join the movement to get the word out. If you're a content creator, connect with us to get on the channel. It's just sharing the word, basically, right now. Just joining the movement.
And people can tune in the same way I did by going to Roku?
Yes. Roku, adding the channel to your Roku channel list, and then we will be launching our website, which will have the content on there as well. Nice. But that's like about a month away.
Okay. Well, you gotta come back and share that information as soon as it's up. I'm not sure if you're following me on Instagram, but my Instagram is at @NikkiMarie_radio with 1K. And a lot of the platforms that I have, I always like to share other people's information, whether it's like a positive quote or a project that they're working on. And, that's pretty much how I continue with my way of promoting for all of my guests and my listeners and the people that follow me. So I would definitely love to share that when it becomes available.
Nice. Thank you.
No problem.
Definitely.
So how do people join the Everlasting TV channel movement? Like, as far as being a content creator?
So if you are a content creator and you want to have your content reviewed, you send an email to info@everlastingtv.com with the subject show review and your title of your idea or your show, and then send us a link and we'll review it and get back to you.
Nice. Besides the messaging, what exactly do you look for when you get that information from the content creators?
So it's really around the message, that's primary, and then just the feel of the show. Entertaining, engaging, typical things, quality, just the general things. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing too deep.
The 5 objectives of your channel. What are the 5 objectives of your channel?
So, of course, the 5 objectives of Everlasting TV, I'm sorry.
No worries.
So our 5 objectives, we talked about it briefly. Shift the narrative of what entertainment is. We want to attract or, build a community where, like-minded individuals, whether it's content creators or the audience, can connect as a community. Flood the world with more inspiring, motivating, positive messages. We want to expand into cable and onto other platforms. And then we want to start producing our own exclusive content where the movie will be one of the first things that will be exclusively on Everlasting TV.
Awesome.
So those are the 5 objectives for now.
This is awesome. I feel like I've learned a lot about you in just this short amount of time.
Thank you. It's so comfortable. I feel like we're old friends, Nikki.
I know. Sitting back, having a little drink.
Yes.
I always say a drink, but guys, it could be water, it could be orange juice, apple juice, it could be wine, it could be whatever.
Yes, whatever we're feeling.
Exactly. But I feel like, we need more channels like this, especially when it's catered to women of color or even just men of color. And I'm not saying that should be the only focus, right, but to have the opportunity to be seen, to be heard, to be positive, If you look at the networks now, like WeTV, for example, they have a lot of negative content that puts Black people in a negative light, and we already see that in the media world.
Right.
So to have a platform where you are looking at, you know, the people that are submitting shows, you're able to look at it and say, this doesn't go real good with the branding or with the message.
Right.
So to have a show that has a positive incentive, or to have that narrative of positivity over negativity, that is why I favorited your station and added your channel to my everyday viewing, because that's the experience that I want to have. So for everyone who's listening, hopefully you all feel the same way and just don't want to feed into the negative, because negativity sells, unfortunately, because I feel like we've been trained to like drama, chaos. We already see that with our president. So, you know, to have that everlasting TV channel, join the movement, guys.
Join it.
Join the movement. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. If you have any last words, I always like to end the show with something positive. So if you can, you know, give a kind word or two to my listeners, I would appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Thank you again so much for having me on. It's been a great experience. And to all your listeners, I want to encourage you all to do better and be better. You have an opportunity each time that you open your eyes, each time that you wake up to a new day. It's always a chance to do better and be better. You don't have to allow your circumstances or your situations to dictate who you are and where you're going. You can take your power back and be who you were created to be. So thank you so much, and join the movement.
Yes. Awesome. What's up, everyone? It's your favorite podcast host, Nikki Marie. I wanted to give you some information about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free, and free is for me. They have creation tools that will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or even your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast in so many places to be heard, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many others. You can even make money with minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I can't wait to hear your podcast.